It's a beautiful story to like call this an unwinding in a way, like life in reverse. Just all these like, I don't know, but energetic sheddings in a way. It feels like layers, and there's nothing wrong with it feeling like layers or talking about it as layers. It's so obvious that, of course, there's not any layers. But it's a beautiful story that like things just unwind in a way. Like when this very stagnant piece of human, when it starts to crack open and things fall off, it's like the whole, the whole being that was in that very stagnant, hard shell, it can finally just, wow, breathe and, I don't know, just wow, float into nothingness. Very artsy descriptions today, but really like, wow, float into nothingness finally. Because the gate, like it's open, like the shell, it has cracked, like it's falling down. The personhood, the sense of personhood, the sense of me, the person, which really is just like this collection of like energetic patterns that seems to be stuck to something. It's stuck, it's like the me, so to speak. It's like this. It's this contraction. It's just this contraction. This is me. And I am all these things, whatever. A woman, this age, I did this. This is my story. This is what I want. It's based upon my thoughts, my ideas, what I've been taught, what I like, what I dislike, whatever. It's just, this ball of just contracted sense of me. I am here. And the world is out there and everyone is, we're just relating to each other all the time. But when that cracks open, it's like, things can just fall off. They can pop up, There's no shame or guilt in things coming up, I guess. And even if it's coming up with a sense of shame and guilt or being very fucking freaking uncomfortable with these things coming up, that is just a part of it. It's like a part of the shedding that is happening to you. It's a part of like, it's like those things come up, but the story dies. So it's just something free that's just happening again. Because it's not like it's coming up. It doesn't come up from anywhere. There is literally no center, no space. There's not a head. There's not a brain with like collected things and, I don't know, these very abstract but very cool and beautiful stories of an inside and an outside. And things can come up, as we say, we say things come up for us. I love it. It's a beautiful story, but there's just this space, and there's no one in a space, like literally no separation. You can even, in a way, say that this is like flat, but that's also saying too much. But it's not like someone looking out from somewhere or someone experiencing something, which really can be felt like that. It can really be felt like that all the time, or like sometimes, or like going in and out, or all of this. It's really beautiful. It's really beautiful. But it's like things just happen. Things just happen, not to someone, but things just happen. And it's like free of stories. So it's very incredible. Like, for example, here there's been like these last 3 weeks has been very, very intense, with very heavy contracted energy, being very sick, and a lot of other stuff happening with the body and others. And yeah, very heavy stuff, bringing apparently, heavy stories, weird, silly thoughts, and yeah, whatever. But it's like I don't know. It felt like a shedding in a way, but it's also not important. That's the thing. It's like that's just another story, that didn't bring someone further or farther. I don't know, is that a thing? But like, closer or longer away. Let's use those words instead. But it's really just what's happening. But it's so clear that there's not such a thing as a normal state, as there is really no states. It's very weird to say that, but there are no states. It's just what is, appearing. What is appearing? It's like this. It's like it's like a screen where things are just, or it's like it's like taking pictures of something. It's like the picture is taken. This is just what's happening. A new picture is taken. This is just what's happening. And then the last picture, it just poof disappeared into nothingness. So there's just what's appearing. And it's mind-blowingly beautiful. And these stories of life, being someone in a life, having a relationship, having kids, being a woman in a life, having, PMS, period, babies, all of this, like, apparently a very emotional life for many women, more emotional. It's just a wonder, really. It's just a wonder. It's all just a wonder. And it's just so obvious that nothing is more or less normal or more or less good. It's so funny, like sitting in a group and discussing people's behaviors and how we should be, or like, why are we like that? Or like discussing like medications, taking medications to reach a certain state, because that is apparently the normal state you want to be in. In this, now I'm speaking about, like, I know someone who has ADHD, and it's just so stunning because I'm just sitting there listening and just like, wow, it's so stunning how there actually seem to be a normal state that people are supposed to be in. Like, this is what is okay, and everything else needs to be medicated, adjusted, locked in, fixed, healed, blah fucking blah blah blah. Here you need to be, and no one is there, of course. No one is there because the sense of me is like, oh, but I will never get there, I always need to fix things. There's always something wrong. Of course, it will feel like that, since it will feel like there is a separation. There's like a crack in the lens, whatever you look, there's a crack. It's not whole. There's a crack, it's like having, the eyes, but there's like, it has been ripped. So there seems to be a piece missing. Everywhere you look, there's a piece missing. Sometimes it seems whole, oh, it's whole there for a moment. Oh, fullness, falling in love, or, oh, I got the job, or, oh, my kid, it survived this horrible disease, or it says, but it always comes back, this whole, looking around and like, fuck, it's not whole, it's not complete, something is missing. Something is missing because of this sense of separation. That's just, it's so fragile, that sense of separation, but also feeling so fragile in that state of separation. Feeling so fucking lonely. It feels like there's a whole world out there and you are missing out, or yeah, all these stories of missing out of life, missing out of something better, always questioning what is happening and thinking, this is not good enough, or maybe there's something better, or Or fuck, if you weren't here in my life now, this would be better. So, get the fuck out of here, You're making this life worse. Or I don't know what I'm speaking about now, but. And it's not like. That's the thing, like. It's like even more of telling the truth in the moment when there's no one there guarding. So there's like, can be even more conflict. Because, of course, there's nothing wrong with that. Literally, watching two people fight with words, fighting with stories, you did this to me, so now I'm gonna go and you're gonna blah, 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 and this was not good. How could you do that after so many years? It's like, I literally see like two cats meowing, It's just a fight happening. But it's with words, it's with stories, because apparently it's two people there in separation, fighting in the story. It's amazing when you look at that and like, wow, There's no difference from that and like those two birds picking on each other, and then that didn't happen, they move on. Storyless, like fighting storyless, but it appears to be fighting in a story. Oh, it's incredible. It's incredible. Also here, maybe an argue is happening with my boyfriend or friend or family. But it's so funny because it's like this energy, just this contracted, stagnant energy of anger or whatever, and it comes out with words. But as soon as that energy has lifted in a way, it's like nothing happened, it's like it never happened. Moving on. It's just moving on. It's moving by itself, and that's amazing. And also just this, that there's of course nothing that is more or less good. Nothing is more or less good, really. There's nothing wrong with raising your voice or being angry or being sensitive or being an introvert, being very extra over the top. Just made up stories, made up by no one. Just made up by no one. This collection of ideas and thoughts like, yep, this is how you're supposed to be. You need to fit in this box. And then always like gaslighting yourself or manipulating yourself into trying to like, I need to fit into this fucking box, why am I so, all the thoughts go, why am I so like this? Or no, I shouldn't have said something, now they think I'm like that. Or trying to not say something, like, fucking, okay, just swallow the anger, move on, but poof, explosion. It's so obvious that there's no choice in a way, because otherwise, why wouldn't you just move on with your life in all those moments where instead you took the painful way of whatever it is in your life, what it was, But it's just an automatic explosion. Saying something, doing something, acting out. Amazing. Amazing how there seems to be something or someone here claiming everything, saying that it's mine, I did that. And that can just fade for no reason at all. No reason at all. It all goes. The reason goes too. Like everything just goes with that. Fucking fades. Not even thoughts about non-duality anymore. That is also just another story and a concept. No thoughts about this is just what's happening. It's just what's appearing. Really just life. No escape. You can't escape. Just life. Trying to escape it. That's also just a part of the no escape. the character is just a character, truly. I guess Julia has always been like, in a way, afraid of hurting other people. Always brings a lot of anxiety and sadness if that seemed to happen, but also really dislikes when it's like things are like unfair or someone is being like not respectful. So it has always been this like fight, you know, of fuck, I want to say something, but I can't because they will get hurt, or I will feel bad, or just this like woof energetic conflict. And now it's just shooting out like wow fucking errors, you know. Can't hold it in. And it comes with consequences sometimes, of course. The story back, you know, that the story comes of like, oh no, and then it's just like sadness, or like, oh no, now maybe they got hurt now, or oh. But that's also just what's happening. It's also just really what's arising, and as soon as that story goes, it's like it was never there. How do you describe it? I don't know. There are no thoughts or like, oh, I know how to describe it. It just comes out automatically. But it's like, it's always like things were never there. Really. It's always a blank page. Always a blank page. Doesn't matter how much you write. Oh, this is happening now, all emotions. Oh, this happened to me. Blah, 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 feeling like this. Turning the page, and then you try to look back. What happened yesterday? Like, oh, or like, what happened a moment ago? Oh, it's blank. And it's like, you don't even remember. Just blank. Really, some days it's really like, you have like, you're just so present. There's only presence, you can say, in a way, not someone who is present, because that's just a story of trying to be present, but you're so just absorbed in what is, because there's only what is happening, and you are a part of what is happening. Like it's all this one thing, you know. So there's just what's happening. Can't even remember like what happened before. No fucking clue. So of course it brings a lot of lightness, because this heavy backpack of all, you know, the blocks with the stories that you carry around all the time, it just disappeared. Poof, gone. Sometimes it can feel like it reappears and then goes, and then no one thinks, oh, how lovely that it went again, this feels so light. No, it's just, again, these pictures, you know, picture frame, backpack, picture frame, no backpack. And then that is just what is happening. That is just what is appearing. Can you say it in another way? Let's see. No, I don't know. I have no idea. but but it's yeah, it's beautiful. And yeah, again, just full on whatever. If the character is gloomy, then there's just gloominess. But there's no one there longing for happiness. So it's just gloominess. And even the longing can appear, and then that is just what is. And stories can come and go, and no one is holding on. Now I want to eat healthy, or now I want to work out more. These stories can just come, but no one is like holding on to them. Either they happen or they don't happen. The body do what it wants. And it seems like when, a lot of this self-conscious energy goes, a lot of things goes, like trying to always look good, to look in a certain way, to receive confirmation. If that goes, of course, there can be more of like, I don't know, suddenly, I'm speaking now of the perspective of a woman, suddenly maybe not always wearing makeup, or just, oh yeah, today I had some dirty pants on me, doesn't matter. And even the opposite, like even more full on, wearing a lot of makeup, super sexy clothes or whatever, because it's the character is just free to express that. Maybe that was, held down because of, certain kind of beliefs or judgments, or my family thinks this, story of separation, me and the world. So when the world goes and also the me goes, it's just, wow, full on. So whatever is natural for the character will happen. And that is still the case. There's no such thing as unnatural and natural. Everything is the natural reality. There is no other reality than whatever is happening. No one is like rejecting what is happening. This is the only reality. And not this as in where apparently, or like apparently Julia is in, like this state, this is the only reality. No, whatever. Fuck, it's incredible. There's no one else, but there is no one. There is no one. There's not even someone here. That's wow. Wow. But whatever is the natural reality. Whatever is love. If that's, a guy who like steals cars for a living, that's the natural reality. That is love. If it's, a beautiful couple sitting on the couch every day, eating pizza, living their best life, doing that, that's the natural reality. That is unconditional love. If it's, like now, for example, I have a gym outside my window, so I see people work out. So even if it's like that, these guys here really like working on their muscles, looking in the mirror, checking out a girl, she's checking out a guy, working on her glutes or on her body or whatever. Like that is the natural reality. That is the ultimate reality. That is unconditional love. Already those stories told by no one. Isn't it incredible how it appears? Wow. Just wow. It's the same, but also so different. Long video. Couples arguing, eating ice cream, trash talking other people. That's unconditional love. No one doing it. Cool. Very cool. Or like now it's summertime and apparently a story is arising of not feeling so comfortable in the body. It has been a lot of sickness, some tiredness. The body feels like kind of heavy, some more extra kilos. And that is also perfectly fine to not feel comfortable in your body. None of these forced stories of, oh, you have to love yourself. It's so obvious that is just an empty story appearing. One moment it's there, next moment not there. Then it's just whatever, doing a drawing, swimming in the sea. And then that energy may appear again. Ooh, not feeling so comfortable again in the body. That is not better than feeling comfortable in your body. That's the freedom of it. It's really the freedom of it, that it's all just the same. There's no difference between the stories. So free to hate your body, really. That is how radical it is. Oh, but shouldn't you just love yourself? But it's all already love. There is no thing that is love. Love doesn't mean something. It's all of it. Love is already all of it. It's why it's so radical, you know? Not feeling comfortable in your body and want to change it. But of course, it's more like, it's so obvious that is just this empty story. That of course that won't make anything better. But of course, maybe if the body feels very heavy and it's used to feel very light, I guess naturally, I don't like that word now, but maybe it will just go towards the other, feeling light and athletic again, if that's what it's used to. But there's no rush, because there's no time. So no one is rushing anything. There's no time. It's summer. There's no thoughts of it will be winter or it was winter. In some months it will be like this. No, it's just full on this. Always for the first time. So beautiful. Really beautiful. No choice. That's the thing again. No choice. It's all arising by itself. Feeling like you are the one doing it. You're the star of the show. And that's so cool. Really, that's so cool. That's really cool. But yeah, also like, it's just like a memory arising of that. It's used to feel very heavy moving around in the world, like physically heavy. So yeah, it's more of a lightness. Like nothing, like, really a sense of nothing is happening, even when something really seemed to happen. Since really there are no movements, not different places, it's all the same energy. No separate things, not a space where things appear in, Oh, here's a plant, here's a hand holding the plant. There's a space between. It's amazing how all of this appears as these separate things, but it's just, wow. Endless energy appearing as this, as a human being sitting in a fucking living room. And also being like stunned by that, like, wow, And that is just empty. Empty as in so fucking light, weightless. I don't know. This body has menstruation, and that comes with, some poetry, apparently. More romantic stuff, maybe. And that's beautiful. There is no way of expressing this that is correct. It can be said in any way. Everything is already that expressing itself. But again, not a thing. It's not a thing. No idea what it is. Fuck, it's so stunning. And so home. Like, oh, you're just sitting in this, the best, most homely sofa. All the time. And sometimes it feels like you're swimming in the coldest sea. Wow, it's black. Ooh, what's underneath? It's endless. Wow. And then back to the sofa again. Oh, whatever. Well, stunning. Now I'm gonna watch some Sex and the City, I think. And eat some food. Make some food. Cook something good. Maybe some Korean food. Yeah. No idea. I can't remember what's in the fridge, so. Nowhere to rush, nowhere to go. No FOMO. Nothing to miss out of. Already complete, whole home. No distance. No world. Just this. Really just this. Whatever that is. Tranquilo, or crazy, or sleepy, or sad. Heartbreak. Grief. Restlessness. Whatever. No choice. That's enough. Yeah. Finito.